Hello, this is going to be another 90s and early 2000s nostalgia ASMR video. So I'm just going to be showing you a few items. It's actually going to vary. You might have noticed already, right away, the Banjo-Kazooie Nintendo 64 box. I still have that. There's nothing inside there. Well, there is some plastic, but in the cardboard itself, but that's all. This is the box that I still have for the Banjo-Kazooie game, which I played this with my mama a lot when I was little, and it was always one of my favorite games. So it was just an interesting little game. And I think they made another one. They made a Banjo-Tooie or something like that, but it wasn't as good from what I hear. And then they made another Banjo-Kazooie recently. I'm sure it really can't revel in the. I'm sure it can't. It tries to revel in the light of the. I don't know if I'm saying that right. It tries to bask in the limelight of the original, but I'm sure it can't. Usually they're not as good as the original. When they come out with another movie or show or game, it's usually not as good as the first one. But I played this game, I played this game a heck of a lot when I was little. Oh my goodness, I spent hours playing this game. And again, I have the Space Invaders type game. The portable game. The fire button actually stopped working a long time ago. I had these items in drawers, and I decided, why not bring them out for some 90s nostalgia? Well, and early 2000s. I think this game was from 1998. Yeah, right there, 98. This is 1998, so if you're a 90s person, then you will probably remember Banjo-Kazooie. So let's put Space Invaders, the portable Space Invaders, over here. Now, not only do I have this, which they made these, and then they made the Game Boy Advance SP, which I actually have a Game Boy Advance SP in this case somewhere in the house. I'll have to find it and show some of the games and the shows. There were a Cartoon Network package, a Cartoon Network special with Ed, and Eddie and Johnny Bravo and things on there. Dexter's Laboratory, Courage the Cowardly Dog. They had 4 episodes on there, and that was the special that you could actually plug them into a Nintendo device later. I never got that Nintendo device, but I got the Game Boy, and I got those shows to go with the Game Boy. And this was the Nintendo 64 game that I showed in my previous video. So, I'm sure all of you... I found this from my childhood. I still had it in the drawer. Not sure why, but I just kept this. I keep things like that. I just keep things, I guess, for... I have a hard time getting rid of things, but this is from the past. If you were from the 90s, if you grew up in the 90s, I actually had a portable cassette player. Then if you grew up in the 90s, you'll know what I'm talking about. Or even before. The Walkmans that people used to have. I still have 3 or 4 Sony Walkman MP3 players, which those were awesome. You could actually... I waited for a song... this is a cassette, by the way, of lullabies from when I was a child. Lullaby vocals. So this was actually the way to play music. Cassettes, you put it in the vehicle, or you put it in the cassette player, the portable one, if you had a portable cassette player. But moving on to let's tap on the Banjo-Kazooie while I talk here. But the box. If you had a portable player, but if you had a Sony Walkman in the early... Well, actually, I didn't actually get an MP3 player until 2008. I got my first MP3 player in 2007 or 8, I think. And then 2009, I used it like crazy in 2008, 2009. got a Sony Walkman, and all my other MP3 players, they all messed up. Everything's electronics have always messed up on me like crazy. But so I got these Sony Walkman players, and they were awesome. I got a Sony Walkman MP3 player. I would actually wait for the radio before downloads, before streaming, before everything like that. You'd have a CD player, and you'd carry it around, and you carried a package, like a package of your CDs, and put it in there and play the songs. Or later, that was before burning the discs, after downloading them from the internet, and burning a disc of your favorite songs, if they even made it. But I'm sure you remember those days in the mid 2008 or 2009. We would download, and then that's what we did, rather than streaming most of the time. But I would download the song and try to put it onto a CD. But before that, I had this MP3 player that I would listen to the radio on that Sony Walkman MP3 player. It was a big deal to have a radio recorder. You would either have it record the song next to the radio speaker, or I would always wait, and I was good at waiting for the song. And when the next song would play, I would press record. I'd press that middle button. I'll show my Sony Walkmans in another video. Some of them are messed up completely now, but I would wait for a song, and I would press record, and then back when it was over, and then I'd title the song in the computer and put it back in there. But I would actually be able to have lots of radio recordings and record the songs on the radio. So I've also got this bag here. I kept these two. I actually kept these all in drawers. So they're actually kept in drawers. I guess I'll call it the nostalgia drawer. Childhood nostalgia drawer. So, these two things. If you remember Leapfrog, they had these Leapfrog books that were like, when you would install, see, these look similar to that, but similar computer parts. But this was Bounce, Tigger, Bounce. Like I stated in my previous videos, I've always been a big Winnie the Pooh fan. Pooh and Scooby-Doo. I also got a Scooby-Doo book for one of these. But for some reason, whenever I would put I would just touch random parts of my body with the pen, it would also say things. I don't know why. But anyway, this one and this one are the only two I have left. Well, the only two I know where they are. So, yeah. These two. So if you remember the quantum pad, makes it sound so revolutionary, so advanced, quantum pad. But it was called the Quantum Leap Pad. And you would use the pen and touch certain parts of that book, and these chips would know where you were touching or whatever, and which page you were on, and it would say certain things. It was the interactiveness of the day. They have all kinds of quantum leap things for children now, but this was very revolutionary, cutting edge back in the day. And I still kept these. I was always fascinated with the computer parts of these things and how these computer chips worked. So, yeah, more nostalgia, so to speak. If you remember, now, if you grew up in the 80s, that would not be nostalgia, but if you grew up in the 90s and early 2000s, then that is. So this is also, I still have this cassette tape holder. We actually, when my mama would go to record the plays or the shows or songs that we would sing at school, she had this VHS camcorder, and they were expensive for the day, and they told her that was the best kind, but it broke very quickly afterwards. You weren't able to even preview the sound, the audio, just the picture, and you had to look inside the tiny little eyepiece to be able to see what you recorded. Then you take the VHS tape out of the camera and put it in something like this and store it in this tiny VHS-C camera tape. And you would take these out, put them in another VHS tape, a bigger VHS tape, and put it in there, and then put it in the VCR, and then play it on the TV. Or, if you had a really good TV that had a VCR built into it, you would play it on there. So, and the VCR DVD TVs were a big deal back in the day. So, yeah, the cameras, back then, they made more quantity than quality, and they would always have all kinds of things they would sell you, but like wireless headphones and wireless earbuds, when I was a child, were not very good. They didn't last very long, they didn't have very good quality. I mean, it had to be like a radio headset and stuff like that. It was not, yeah. I still have a portable radio from my childhood. That was a big deal. They were about this size. Now the transistor radios, during my mama's childhood or in her early 20s, transistor radios were a big deal, but they were awesome for the day. But yeah, this is Banjo-Kazooie. I loved that game. I'd play it a lot with my mama. But yeah, that's the way you had to do the VHS tapes. If you remember your parents recording your childhood shows or events at school, like songs you would sing or something. If you went to plays or something, or went to when you would sing or something. Well, they always had these huge cameras. Well, the cameras got smaller. I have a Samsung camcorder that I really love. It has a pause function. I'll share that in a video sometime soon as well. And so, the pause function is something you can't find on a modern camera. I wish I could find one like it. It has a 50 to 54x zoom, and that's the optical zoom, not the digital zoom. Digital zoom is really, really good, and optical zoom is awesome. It goes way far away. You can look at the moon in full view, and it's awesome. That camera is awesome. And I wish I could find another one like it. If you can, let me know. It has a pause function. Samsung camcorder. The white Samsung camcorder is really good. So, but yeah, they back when we got a camera, they said, well, back when we got one of our first camcorders, they told my mama that, well, the memory in it is a lot more expensive than the camera itself. It was before micro SD cards and before 128 gigabyte micro SD cards being even remotely affordable. Before 32 gigs, 16, even 16 gigs. Back then, even 8 megabytes was considered a lot. So they told her that it was going to be a lot more expensive to just, you're better off getting another camera, that the memory was so expensive. And so she went with the VHS tape camera. And they said at that time things were getting to where, in the mid 2005 period or so, 4 or 5, things were getting to the point where they did not want you to be able to repair things. It was more expensive to repair it. You might as well just replace it. So, but now they finally started making Bluetooth earbuds and headphones better than what they did then. So also, here is a camera we got from Fred's a long time ago. We still need to develop this, actually. We've gotten them from Fred's, Walgreens, Walmart, CVS. I'm sure you remember those. You press that button for the flash, the light would light up, and you'd roll the film. They still sell these, somewhat. Let's see, can you see through it? Yeah, that's what you'd see. That's what you would see back then. And then you would press the flash button to take the picture. Kind of hard to see. It's not focusing, but I hope you can see through there somewhat. You can see a little bit, but it was like, and then you had to wait a long time to know whether or not your pictures even turned out. But I still love those days. They're part of my childhood and memories. And again, back to this again. I shared this in my previous video. I'm going to do another video right after this one, sharing this, where the planet's space exploration. These are some postcards that I got when we went to the Alabama Space Center. So, when I was a child, we took a trip there. And, hold on, a lot of traffic. But, okay, so, yeah, I'll do that in my next video. And also, hold on. I was stating in 2004, they went to mini DVDs, like this. So, I have several of those. See how small they were? They thought that it was a thing they went to for a couple of years. This was in 2004, Mucha Lucha. And basically I got that because of, I don't know, it was just something new and I wanted to see what it was like. It would play in your DVD player at the time. And they also had this, which I didn't get one of these. I actually do still have my Video Now, though. It looks very similar to that. My Video Now. Let me know if any of you have ever owned a Video Now player. So, this was actually just something that they it's just something else they wanted to change to make money off of, but because they wanted children to want something new and different. But these were the titles that were available. I have that one as well, right there. The Flintstones, the 2 episodes of the Flintstones that they released on mini DVD. But those were the only 2. But that was a small screen DVD player, probably maybe 2 inches screen, kind of like the Video Now that they had. But that was it right there. That was the disc. This was Mucha Lucha, which I have this, and these are not actually mini DVDs, but they did go to some mini-sized packages. They did the same thing with this one, and some Popeyes. Whoops. They did the same thing with some Popeye DVDs as well. So, onto this one here. This is the Teen Titans Volume 1. They sold this on mini DVD, Divide and Conquer. So, these are 3 episodes of Teen Titans. Divide and Conquer, Sisters, and Final Exam. So, this was also a really big deal that discs were so small, and the PVDs for Video Now were a little bit larger than this. And then there was later on, like years and years later, let's see, I'm not sure what year this released. Let's see, I know the Teen Titans one released in 2004. And this was the Austin Powers. This released in 2006 or so. And it actually required 2 discs. This was disc 1 and disc 2. They're super small. You actually had to go to the next disc to finish the movie, so it was a big deal for the day to have such a small disc, but I didn't get many of these. I got like 4. I got the Flintstones, the Austin Powers, the Teen Titans, and the Mucha Lucha. So that's what I actually got in the mini DVDs. I'll have to find the Flintstones one and show it sometime. I recently got the entire Flintstones series on DVD. Even though I can still watch them online, I like to own the physical copy as well. So this has been some more nostalgia, reminiscing, I guess. A nostalgia haul, I guess you could say, of some 90s and early 2000s to 2006, I guess. Anywhere between that period. Reminiscing. This has been an ASMR video regarding my childhood items and things that I still have, so let me know if any of these are anything that you liked as a child. And also I'm glad that to the comments that person shared with me in my previous video that they enjoyed it and found it relaxing. I'm glad you found it relaxing, and I hope you rest and sleep well. So, peace, love, and many blessings, and as always, sweet dreams. I'm actually just about out of memory, 1 more minute left in this micro SD card, so I'll go ahead and get this video uploaded and start on the other one after I upload it. The other one's going to be, I decided to do 3 ASMR videos tonight. So, the other one's going to be about this from when I went to the Alabama Space Center when I was a child. So, much love to everyone. Thank you so much for watching my videos and commenting. And thank you for the 28 subscribers. Hopefully my channel grows and sees many more subscribers soon. So peace, love, and many blessings. And as always, sweet dreams. Hope you enjoyed Nostalgia Road. Sweet dreams, everyone. Good night.